Welcome back, visionaries. Episode 4 of the Vision Room Social. I'm bringing in the big guns, my homie, the Maddie Starr.
What's up, dog?
The shooting star. Tulsa icon.
Okay.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
This episode's also sponsored by Shooting Star Social. Go give her a follow on social media.
Thank you.
Cirque, if you're listening, I love this cinnamon toast latte.
Sponsor us, please.
Yeah. Also, Tulsa, try this. Cinnamon toast draft latte, oat milk on ice. Okay, enough plugging. Now to the structure of the podcast. Okay, Maddie. So you meet a stranger and they ask you what you do. How are you explaining that concisely?
Yeah. Well, now that the term content creator is around, I would just tell them I'm a content creator. Basically, I do all things content creating with my iPhone. Don't have all the expensive equipment. Just me, myself, and I in my.
So I'm seeing the entirety.
My lovely iPhone.
I'm seeing the entirety of the Shooting Star Social.
Yes, this is it.
Yeah.
Except I have a gimbal or a stabilizer for my phone.
So you're doing
sometimes
everything
a lens.
Content creator.
Yeah.
You're running with that?
Content creator. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Full time. That's either on my socials for someone else or for my business.
And what kind of niche are you serving right now?
Ooh, I feel like I'm spread. But
Figuring it out.
With my business, wedding, I love doing wedding content creating, which is a new realm and people are starting to figure it out. And then content creating for Tulsa and just doing all the things, telling everyone about my favorite city.
I love that.
And then I just help people. Businesses.
We're gonna unpack all of it.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, I want to start your story with OBU.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because when I met you,
back then.
Yeah, you were working at Welltown Brewing that we'll unpack when we get there.
Yeah.
Then you just recently took this content creator.
Yeah.
A year full time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I kind of want to.
Wow.
Get the journey of how that got there. So is
really
OBU too far back? Or is that a good starting point?
That's a great starting point where my life changed for sure.
What were you doing there?
At OBU I played collegiate volleyball and was going to school on the side because I was playing college volleyball full time. Yeah. And then school was kind of my back burner. But yeah, full time volleyball there.
Man. What were you studying? What was the plan? Were you gonna be a volleyball star, Olympics?
No.
Just going hard, or what was the plan?
That was not the plan. The plan was to coach volleyball for the whole time. So because I remember in 10th grade I was teaching some middle schoolers how to serve a volleyball, and I taught this one girl how to serve a volleyball over the net, and I saw her eyes light up whenever she served it over the net for the first time from the back row, and I was like, "This is what I want to do. I want to change the game of volleyball." And so that's what I did after college.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oklahoma Baptist University, right?
Yeah.
For people listening,
because we
know what
the
that
bison. Is. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how far this is reaching, but we are here. So, you finished school there?
I finished school there. Yeah.
And then what do you move to at that point?
At that point. Yeah. I don't know if I've talked to you about this at all. So
I don't know.
Cool.
I literally, my life and what I know about Maddie's OBU, a lot of space I don't know.
Okay.
Welltown.
Yeah, let's get
Star.
into it.
Yeah.
So OBU was a very hard time in my life. It was a wonderful time, but the collegiate atmosphere is hard. If you're not prepared mentally, it's a rough ride, especially if you don't have a coach that really loves you and cares about you. So, anyways, the summer before my senior year, I did an internship with FCA, which, I mean, if you're an athlete, most people know what Fellowship of Christian Athletes is. But it's pretty unique. It's out in Huntington Beach, California. And they take, 15 collegiate volleyball players and get discipled. So I played indoor and outdoor there, trained for my senior year. And I fell in love with it. I learned how to do life with God then. And simple things we'd practice is asking the Lord how to serve a volleyball or where to serve the volleyball. We'd ask him the detailed questions of that.
In the game.
In the game. I'd be like, where do you want me to serve the ball, Lord? Which sounds it sounds stupid when you're saying it out loud, but in real life, you really do have to ask him
for any,
for anything.
Smallest things.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what life looks like, being led by the Spirit.
Yeah.
So anyways, I fell in love with it there. And so after my senior year, I moved out to Huntington for a year and worked for FCA.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then how's that? Where's OBU? Where was that at?
OBU's in Shawnee.
So how'd you end up in Tulsa?
Well, I'm born and raised in Tulsa. So
what brought you back?
Yeah. My brother and I are 7 years apart. He's younger. So when he was going into his freshman year, I was like, I need to come back and be around him. So I moved to Stillwater to coach. And then the next year I moved to my alma mater to coach there.
Yeah. So you were coaching volleyball?
Coaching and teaching.
Like you were just doing it?
Since I've graduated.
Why are you a content creator now?
Now I'm a content creator. Which it's like, it is such a God thing, because the whole time I was like, I want to do photography or social media. Like the whole time I was doing volleyball, I wanted to be doing this. Mm-hmm. Thanks for 2020, honestly, because even though that was the second year, content creating is now a thing. Yeah. Full time. Like, I mean, it was, but.
Well, like the value of it just like jumped because the world kind of had no other option than to go digital.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I guess kind of what I would like a lot of people to get out of this podcast is because you were doing like what the plan was from high school, Maddie. Like you were just doing the plan, but then you recently took the jump to full-time entrepreneurship, creativity. So like what internally happened? I know 2020 and it was like practical, but like I think maybe like
bigger than that.
The emotions of like, okay, I feel like I'm good enough or like confident enough to finally step out in this.
Yeah. So, this is really getting God focused, but whatever. That's what he did. Yeah. So,
just shoot it out of the game for real.
So I was head coaching at the time in 2020, in a small town, and it was just toxic. Like I was just like, I can't be here. I actually got sick twice in the spring of 2020 before the world shut down. And whatever, whatever it is.
I was watching you, girl. Just going hard, being a nurse.
Yeah. And I was like, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to come back. Like, I don't want to be here. But you know what I want to, I trust you. So I had the flu twice and my doctor was like, you're not going back to work. This is February. Okay. So this is when, let me put you, perspective. Jacob and I know each other because we went to a church together. Yeah. And, at that time that church was opening. Do you remember when it was?
I do. So that time I had just moved to Tulsa. Like I didn't know anybody. So
right before 2020.
Like I came for that.
Yeah. So okay. So when the church was opening in the new building, it was right before then. So I was like in deep prayer about it, and my doctor had said, "You're not going back." And so I had just taken a leave of absence from there, and I was like, "I need money. Like I can't be sick and." Whatever. I'm giving you background so you know. Yeah. I don't know if I'm talking too much. Just keep going. Okay.
Pod.
And then when the church opened up that night, they had a worship night, and freaking Osby, he was singing "When the Stars Made to Worship," so will I. And I just feel like that song is about me. Because my last name is Starr, in case you didn't know. And
wait, that's your God-given last name?
Yeah.
Double R.
Did you not think that?
No, I thought it was a branding thing.
No, that's really my last name.
Yeah, so your last name is...
It's Starr. Definitely Starr.
Wait, but it's changing soon.
It's about to change soon.
To...
Cheatham. I'm happy with it, but not my first choice of a last name pick. But I'll choose him any day.
Your branding will still be Shooting Star.
Yeah, it won't change.
Yeah.
So that night at the worship night, he started singing that song, which we all bawl every time he sings that song. And I heard the Lord like immediately while we were worshiping. He was like, "You're quitting. You're done with coaching volleyball. Like done coaching volleyball." He's like, "You're done." And I had felt that coming, but like I didn't believe it was going to happen that year. I'm naturally good at leading. Like I could cry thinking about it. Like I love leading girls and women and teaching them. And like volleyball is such an emotional game versus like a skill. I mean, it's skill, but like whatever. So when he told me that, I sat on the ground and had a full toddler tantrum. I sat on the ground, crisscross applesauce, and was like, you're kidding me right now. This is not happening. This has been my plan the whole time. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. I don't have a camera. I don't have the following, because, you know, to be an influencer, like you had to have a following.
Yeah.
And I had at that time maybe like 4,000, which is a lot. I understand that.
They're all
And
bots.
so I sat down there and I argued with him,
Yeah.
like we all do. And then I felt a peace.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, Lord, I guess I'm going to trust you. And then, you know, a month later, the world shut down.
Yeah.
I didn't have to quit my job. I got paid until August. And so I got to sit at home, rest, get my body reset. And then I ran into my friend Malin, who works at Welltown.
Yeah.
And she was like, do you need a job? And so I just worked at a brewery for 1.5 years, waiting on the Lord.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna wait on you. That's when was that song popping off around there?
oh, for sure.
Goodness. Yeah.
Listen your mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that was a good note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Collab soon on the song.
Would love to.
Hey.
So yeah, then I waited on the Lord, and
That's true.
yeah. Were you around in 2021 with us a ton? No. Yes.
With the squad, current
Yeah.
squad. I think I was like in August. I was a late inductee.
Late, like, oh yeah, because you were
Yeah.
working a job.
Yeah, I was somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Halfway point. You already know. I warned Maddie this time. I didn't warn Destiny. I warned
I like
Maddie
it.
about the Cash App challenge.
Well, some people are broke, but it's not us today.
Not us.
It's
Well,
not
one of
us
us about to be $5 richer.
It's gonna
Okay,
be me.
recap. It's either pop culture reference, inside joke, or trivia question. If you get it right, I owe you $5.
Okay.
If you get
I
it
get
wrong,
it wrong, I owe you.
don't look at my notes.
Okay.
The first one is just a warm-up question just because I want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you recently had a birthday party themed
Yes.
with New Girl.
Yes.
We're going to go that route for
Okay.
you, okay?
Okay.
Remember what was the theme for Schmidt's rebranding party? It's also the theme of this podcast, actually.
For Schmidt's rebranding party,
Yeah.
it has something to do with fire.
No, it was danger.
Danger.
But,
Yeah.
But at a level you couldn't possibly understand.
Danger.
It was danger.
Yeah.
Right?
Danger.
And I probably should have used that as a
That
actual
one.
question. But okay, for you, I have 3 questions.
Okay.
And to win this one, you have to get 2 out of 3 right.
2 out of 3 right. I feel like
Yes.
I'm on a talk show.
You are on a talk
I
show.
am.
It's a podcast.
But you know, like on
oh,
the
like
radio.
Jimmy Fallon and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Jimmy Fallon, actually.
What is the password?
Okay, this one's kind of easy. You have to get 2 out of 3.
Okay, got
right.
it.
So this first one is finish the quote. Gave me cookie.
Yeah, you cookie, give me cookie. Yeah, you cookie, got you cookie, man.
Give me cookie. Okay, I'll
Give
give
you
that.
cookie, give me cookie.
Got
you cookie.
It's a tongue twister.
Got you cookie, give me.
Give me cookie.
Give
Gave
me
me cookie. Got you cookie. That's
gave
what I
me
wrote
cookie,
down.
got you cookie.
Okay, that's one. So you just gotta lock down one more.
2 more. Yeah.
Okay. Remember, there's like an episode where Jess is teaching like adults like English,
Yeah, for sure.
and Nick comes in as like a detective.
Yes,
What's the name of his?
Easy. Julius Pepperwood.
Where's he from?
Well,
Yeah,
he's from
Chicago.
Chicago.
Thin Crust Pizza? No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Julius Pepperwood.
Okay, that's easy. You win that. Last.
Give me the last one. Is it harder?
No, I thought it was because I can't remember.
Okay.
So the dating app that Jess uses because of Schmidt.
The dating app that Jess uses because of Schmidt.
Yeah, she's like, how are you getting all these dates? And then
Is it is it the famous one? Ren I don't know.
no, man.
What is
We
it?
still got it 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
It was Dice.
Dice. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready with my Cash App whenever.
No, I'll send it to you after this.
Okay,
Off the air.
okay.
Off the air.
It's Madeline Starr.
Oh yeah. If anyone listening. I already sent her $5.
My fiance just shot a buck, so he's super excited. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. Transition now to so we got to hear the story of how you transitioned from college to coaching to leaving that job to working out at the brewery, waiting on the Lord to finally taking the jump to now you work for yourself.
I work for myself.
Yeah. So what's like I asked James this on episode 1, like what's the biggest like burden and blessing now that you work for yourself?
Ooh, well, I'm a creative, and I'm sure just like James, he's a creative. Mm-hmm. So the details and the like back end stuff is the hardest thing for me.
Yeah.
So that whole thing, and oh my goodness, I hate being a creative and being put on a timeline sometimes, because it's like I feel like I'm stifled in my creativity sometimes. But other than that,
I feel that
I get to do it.
I feel
you
that.
know?
Yeah, like sometimes, like as a creative, there's like a timeline. I feel like I have to pump out the content like a machine.
Yeah.
But like if there's no timeline, I can get
create.
inspired and just make it. And there's no timeline. Sometimes it takes me 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes me a whole day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what's like been now one of the things that gives you the most fulfillment out of like doing what you do now?
I think the wedding day content stuff, like I love seeing people's love, and maybe because I'm in that season now, but like that is really fun for me to like capture their day and give them all the footage. That's a really fun part. And getting to like in my work, in like the TikToks and the reels I create, getting to capture their like personality as a couple or themselves is just so fun. Yeah. That's really fun.
Dude, at least for sure, like where I'm standing, like it's been cool to kind of see you like find like a lane. Because I mean you do content for everything. Like you do content for this podcast, you know. Yeah. But lately I've seen a lot of weddings, a lot of like the what to do in Tulsa. Yeah. Have you had like are you gonna stay there, or do you have like vision of like pushing it?
Yeah, I have a big vision.
Yeah,
I have a really big vision of pushing.
Can you give us a Vision Room Social exclusive maybe?
Good. Yeah. I mean, I love Tulsa and I want to showcase it, but I also just want to showcase this state. And there's a couple influencers I could think about that have started on TikTok and then grown or whatever, that they're just everyday people and now they're full-time creatives. But I don't doing it. Yeah. But I want to be at that level to where I'm creating like solid content and doing community outreach things within my
I love that.
I'd love to go out to the community and like use my resources for good in some capacity. But I want it to be Tulsa could be so much better.
I think it's dope. Like
it's dope. Obviously, I love it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love it.
Yeah.
But I think like Dallas, LA.
Like you think we could be that?
I think we're thinking small. I think us in Tulsa, which like I love that about us. We're small town. Everyone you meet is gonna smile, and big town. They're gonna smile at you. They're kind to you. You know what I mean? But like, I think when we think events, when we think of content and all that stuff, like it could be a lot better. And I want to be on that level as my influencing
like be a pioneer
creative
of like pushing that.
Yeah, like let's push the narrative. You know.
Yeah, so you want to be a pioneer of that movement / culture change.
Yeah.
Dude, it's hard. Like for me as a creative, I feel like we live in like this tension of like if I were to put everything that Maddie's done on a paper, like you show it to anybody, they would say you've done a lot. But then you yourself can feel like I feel like I'm still working on it.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah. Can you kind of walk us through some of those emotions? Or if you deal with that, I don't know. There's also a reality where you can just feel confident in who God made you to be and just walk in your lane. So there's also those people. Yeah.
I feel confident in where I'm at now. I know the space that I'm in is hectic with planning a wedding and, you know, finding a house and all the things.
Filming other people's weddings.
Filming other people's weddings. Like I'm in a very hectic time. The friendships, all the things, like there's just a lot of shift in my life. Yeah. So I'm pretty content with where I am. But no, there is a tension of dreaming that I fully believe that the Lord has given those dreams to me.
For sure.
And so I'm like, how do I get from point A to point B? And and who do I need in my circle to get me there?
Yeah.
Not to get me there, but to like be alongside me in the process. So yeah, there's a lot more I want to do. I just don't know how it's gonna play into fruition, but I want to make it happen.
There's one more thing I want to hit. So talking about community outreach and stuff.
Yeah.
So Hot Girl Walks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah.
I can't come, right?
No, sorry.
Nate can't come. Nate behind the camera.
Nate, sorry. But I mean, you and Brian really should start
the bro stroll.
The bro stroll.
Yeah, Brian's coming
bro
on later.
stroll.
The bro stroll.
That sounds like a strudel.
Talk to us about the Hot Girl Walk,
yeah, we'll talk to you about it. So basically, we all know we need some mental health awareness, and daily walks has been kind of a thing since 2020. Wow, we're just shout out 2020. You really did a lot for us. Thank you.
It was hard, but like it was actually kind of good.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I've been taking walks for a while because I love them, and it's just so fun. Also, getting outside. But anyways,
just kidding. It's good for you.
It's good for you. But I had seen a couple cities doing it, and it's all over the nation now. Mm-hmm. And Oklahoma City was doing it, and I was like, why has no one started this here? Whoa, Maddie, yeah, you have a following. I should ask around if anyone wants to do that. And people come to me for Tulsa things. So it's like, hey, does anyone want to do this? And then my friend Alicia was like, yes, please. She's great at social media. She loves the whole managing and creating.
Yeah. It's like you guys had a crazy
it's been a crazy turnout. The first turnout was like 67 the first time we did it.
And that's how long were you promoting it?
2 weeks maybe.
Shoot.
Yeah. And then we have an end of the year event that's coming up, and I think we have 160 people signed up to go so far. So it's been insane. And
that started like this year, not even that long ago.
9 weeks ago. And when I tell you, it has been really eye-opening because these girls needed a place to go and they didn't have a place. Mm-hmm. And I've heard so many people like, oh, I get on Bumble BFF and I just ask around to see if anyone wants to go to the walk. And then they make friends. I was like, I've heard that like 4 times. Man. People go on Bumble BFF.
Creating community.
Yeah. And then the amount of women-owned business too that have just wanted to help and sponsor has been so insane. And it's been so fun to people want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. So it's just been so incredible that I'm meeting new people every day. I'm born and raised, again, lived here most of my life. I'm 29 years old. And you feel, and I'm sure you feel this now, you walk into a coffee shop, you know one person, at least.
1,000%.
And so I'm like, oh,
or the staff knows you.
Yeah. I've met most of the girls here in Tulsa. No, I wasn't even close. Yeah. Wasn't even close. I've met so many people that have been here since 2020, moved here, and they've just been in their home working remote. Yeah. And they don't know how to make friends. Yeah. Oh man, I want to teach people how to make friends because that's so fun.
Okay, super weird tangent, but I'm really grateful that I think God just plugged me in the right people at the right time because I met you, James and Brian, almost within the same timetable, and y'all in my perspective knew everybody. So that just I don't know, it helped me even though we were isolated. Y'all were very pivotal in me building the community that I have now. So thank you.
Thanks, Jacob.
We're still out here.
We're still out here.
Okay. So to close, just one last thing. Any advice to creatives that are maybe where you were when God was challenging you to leave your job? Mm-hmm. Also could be healthy to stay at your job, but just people that are maybe in that space right now.
Honestly, I think every creative struggles with the start because they're like, is it going to be good enough? Am I enough? Is my dreams actually reality? Valid, I'm sure valid, and are you questioning it? Is the Lord actually given me this ability? Am I actually good at it? Whatever. Just start it. Mm-hmm. That's my advice every time. If it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. Just start doing what you love. Yeah. And if you're secure in your own self enough to know that you're putting out the best that you can do right now, and eventually knowing that it's going to be even better, the rejection or whatever you might get, it's minuscule to what you're going to actually do. I started my own influencing kind of stuff journey. That sounds super chuggy. I didn't like that.
We'll edit it out and post. Just kidding.
But I had 4,000 followers in January of this year. Mm-hmm. And
now
I had that vision for this weekend in Tulsa for a long time. Mm-hmm. Like literally 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. And finally I was like, I'll just put it on my notes app and screenshot it and send it out. And I have 15.7 thousand followers now.
That was this year?
That was this year. Like I didn't have.
How do you wake up with that many notifications, bro? I'm lucky if my homie reposted my story.
Whatever. But like, I just did it. And now it's, now I'm like working with businesses in town and working with, areas in
you had to
Oklahoma.
Jump.
I had to take the jump.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have happened without, me just doing it.
I love that. I'm currently living in that right now. So super transparent moment for y'all that have been following the pod.
A hot moment.
So I'm filming this like ahead of time. And the episode 2 with Caden was actually like the very, very first one that we filmed. Nate behind the camera, rocking with me since day one.
With you.
Yeah, that one, I was like, bro, I don't know how to start a podcast. I was like YouTubing, asking friends. So episode 2, if you're watching on the video, you'll like notice like a light switch. And I was having to FaceTime someone how to get the audio going. But then like 3 episodes later, Maddie's like, oh, this feels professional. And I was like, bro, I'm figuring it out. But I literally just had to jump. I had to do it. And I mean, I had to work and ask questions, and God blessed me with people who kind of know to give me some direction. But to the end of the day, we're out here getting better every day.
We're out here. Yeah.
Do you want to plug anything before we get off the air?
Yeah. Shooting Star Social is my business. Wedding content creating business. Please book me if you're a bride. I do travel. Okay. Yes, I do. Yeah. If you need weekend plans, and if you live in the Tulsa area, I got you. That's Wonderfully Maddie, and I'm on TikTok and Instagram and
Wonderfully Maddie on all of them.
Wonderfully Maddie on all of them, and Shooting Star Social on all of them as well.
What about MySpace? I'm just kidding.
Oh, rip.
R.I.P. Matt, thanks for coming on the pod. Don't gotta wait till I see it in my eyes. All right, we're out. Don't see it now, but